For millions of Americans, sports are more than games. They are a source of pride, inspiration, and unforgettable memories. Fans invest their emotions, their time, and sometimes even their identities into their favorite teams and athletes. But throughout history, some of the biggest names and organizations in sports have been involved in scandals that shocked the nation, shattered trust, and forever changed the games people love. These are some of the greatest sports scandals in American history. One of the earliest and most infamous scandals took place in baseball, America's pastime. In 1919, the Chicago White Sox were one of the strongest teams in Major League Baseball. They faced the Cincinnati Reds in the World Series and were expected to win comfortably. However, rumors quickly began to spread that something was wrong. Years later, investigators uncovered a shocking truth. Several White Sox players had accepted money from gamblers in exchange for intentionally losing games. The scandal became known as the Black Sox Scandal. 8 players were accused of fixing the World Series. Even though some were acquitted in court, Baseball Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis permanently banned all 8 players from the sport. The scandal nearly destroyed public confidence in professional baseball and remains one of the darkest chapters in sports history. Decades later, another baseball scandal rocked America. During the late 1990s and early 2000s, Major League Baseball experienced a surge in home runs. Fans were thrilled as stars shattered records and brought excitement back to the game. But behind the scenes, many players were using performance-enhancing drugs. The steroid era eventually came under intense scrutiny. Some of baseball's biggest names faced allegations and investigations. Congressional hearings were held, and athletes were forced to testify under oath. The scandal raised serious questions about fairness, integrity, and the true meaning of athletic achievement. Even today, debates continue over whether players linked to steroids deserve a place in the Hall of Fame. While baseball battled its own controversies, college sports faced a scandal that revealed the dangers of unchecked power. At Penn State University, legendary football coach Joe Paterno had built one of the most respected programs in the country. However, in 2011, former assistant coach Jerry Sandusky was arrested and later convicted for crimes involving young victims. Investigations found that university officials had failed to take appropriate action despite receiving warnings over many years. The scandal shocked the nation and led to major penalties against the football program. It also sparked conversations about accountability and the responsibility of institutions to protect vulnerable individuals. The world of cycling experienced its own dramatic fall from grace through the story of Lance Armstrong. Although Armstrong's success was primarily international, he was celebrated as an American hero. After surviving cancer, he won the Tour de France 7 consecutive times and inspired millions around the world. His story seemed almost unbelievable. Eventually, investigators uncovered a sophisticated doping operation involving banned substances and methods. For years, Armstrong had denied all accusations and even attacked critics. But in 2013, he publicly admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs. His titles were stripped away, and one of the greatest comeback stories in sports history became one of its biggest scandals. In basketball, one of the most shocking controversies involved a referee rather than a player. In 2007, NBA referee Tim Donaghy admitted that he had bet on games and provided information to gamblers. The revelation raised concerns about the integrity of professional basketball. Fans began questioning whether certain games had been influenced by outside interests. Although investigators found no evidence that entire seasons were manipulated, the scandal damaged public trust and forced the NBA to strengthen its oversight and monitoring systems. American sports have also faced scandals involving cheating through technology. One of the most famous examples occurred in the National Football League. During the 2007 season, the New England Patriots were caught illegally videotaping opposing coaches' signals. The incident became known as Spygate. The team was fined heavily, and head coach Bill Belichick received one of the largest penalties ever imposed on an NFL coach. Years later, the Patriots became involved in another controversy called Deflategate, centered around allegations that footballs were intentionally underinflated during a playoff game. The debates surrounding these incidents dominated sports headlines for months and divided fans across the country. Not all scandals involve professional leagues. The Olympic movement has experienced its share of controversy as well. In 1994, figure skater Nancy Kerrigan was attacked before a major competition. Investigators soon discovered that associates connected to rival skater Tonya Harding had planned the attack. The shocking incident became international news and remains one of the most infamous moments in sports history. The scandal transformed what should have been an athletic competition into a media spectacle watched by millions. Another scandal that changed sports forever involved the issue of athlete safety. For decades, football players suffered repeated head injuries. Many later developed serious neurological conditions. Investigations revealed that concerns about the long-term effects of concussions had existed for years. Critics accused football organizations of failing to fully acknowledge the risks. Lawsuits followed, leading to massive settlements and significant changes in how the sport handles player safety. The concussion controversy forced fans and officials alike to reconsider the costs associated with one of America's most popular sports. Perhaps one of the most surprising scandals involved the world of college admissions and athletics. In 2019, federal investigators uncovered a scheme in which wealthy parents allegedly paid large sums of money to help their children gain admission to prestigious universities. Some applicants were falsely presented as athletic recruits despite having little or no experience in those sports. The scandal exposed weaknesses in the admissions process and sparked a nationwide debate about fairness, privilege, and opportunity. Throughout American sports history, scandals have emerged in many different forms. Some involved gambling, others involved drugs, cheating, corruption, or failures of leadership. Yet despite the damage they caused, these controversies often led to important reforms. New rules were introduced, oversight increased, transparency improved. Sports organizations learned that public trust is one of their most valuable assets. The reason these scandals continue to fascinate people is simple. Sports are built on the idea of fair competition. Fans want to believe that victories are earned through talent, dedication, and hard work. When that belief is challenged, the reaction can be powerful. Scandals remind us that athletes, coaches, officials, and organizations are human. They are capable of extraordinary achievements, but also serious mistakes. In the end, the greatest sports scandals in American history are not just stories about broken rules. They are stories about ambition, pressure, greed, accountability, and the constant struggle to protect the integrity of competition. They serve as cautionary tales and important reminders that in sports, as in life, how you win matters just as much as winning itself.